Good evening, everybody. This is Michelle Allen and Richard Burnell from Australia. Richard's in Melbourne and I'm in the Hunter Valley at the moment. I'm going to start off tonight by saying congratulations to all of you. Many of you have been on this journey for years and some have just joined, but we've been very patient and we've got so much to look forward to. So congratulations, and everybody put a plus in the chat to say to show support and congratulations. And I just want to see people interacting tonight because we've got so much information to tell you tonight. It's kind of really pretty exciting. So yeah, look at all these pluses. We've got so much to look forward to, guys. It's so exciting. Thank you. John, if you could keep admitting people in, because people are still coming in, so that would be really good for us, so I can just focus on my little presentation at the beginning. I'm just going to... So tonight I'm going to talk to you about testing of the external exchange. I was one of the testers and I put my name down and I really didn't expect to get selected, but I was so excited when I did. And I learned so much, and just so you all know, I have never traded on cryptocurrency before, so I was completely a newbie, which was probably pretty good. But in saying that, I was one of the 4 people that staked straight away and was able to clean up on the UNTB. I don't know if I won the competition, but I did get a lot of UNTB. Richard's smiling here.
You got to tell them how many you got. You started off with 100. Everybody started off with 100,000. Now we know that Maria, because she showed us her thing, she ended up with 468,000. We know that Andrew Hawkes, he ended up with somewhere around 238, 230. So how many did you end up with?
1.5 million. So I was like going, oh my God, because I staked, and then and it's interesting because like we've learned forever that we've got to stake, and you know, like the best thing you can do is stake. And if you're not, especially if you're not an active trader, and I thought, oh, I'm probably going to be pretty bad at trading, so I'm just going to stake everything. So that's exactly what I did, and because people didn't stake, I was able to clean up. So I'm really quite surprised that I made so much in 7 or 8 days. Like it was crazy. So I want to say to you all, when we go live, make sure you stake and let's follow what we've learned, especially us little guys, because we're all little guys. Like we're all not leaders in the company. So I kind of felt really proud of myself when, like I got more than some of these leaders, and I'm going, so I'm just going to say that because I don't mind saying that. So I want to say that the external exchange is really exciting because I didn't find it hard to use the wallet. So I am probably like a lot of you guys brand new to this. So the wallet I found quite easy to use. It was just learning the terminology, and I spent a bit of time listening to the webinar that Maria gave us, and I learned and I applied what she did. So my best advice for you is when we do go live, is to take your time. Don't rush. Don't sit there and think, oh, I've got to do it right now. If you don't know, ask somebody in one of the chats, or they're going to provide a lot of information. So read the information carefully, and even if it means getting a whiteboard and put in all these little diagrams and what you've got to do and follow the plan. But the best advice is just read and take your time. The interface was fantastic. I was able to transfer UNTB cruise. I was able to convert my cruise to WCRU. And then I staked it, and so I staked everything, and that's why I was really surprised how much I made. I thought, oh, this is like the real thing. We are so crazy if we don't stake straight away. So that's my little report on the external exchange. It was a great combination of people that they chose to do it. Like we found a lot of different things. We made suggestions. I even had a couple of suggestions that I added, and I looked at it from a new user perspective. So I put little things in that that people like us need to just make it a little bit clearer. So it was pretty exciting. So I feel really honoured that I'm part of that and I could contribute something to the company. So in Maria's webinar, she talked about the roadmap to going live, and this screenshot is taken from her webinar. I'm not going to go into every little point because Maria explains this really well on her webinar, but I really want to encourage you all to start learning about this stuff. And as you can see, it's all the first one is all the stations of crew inside the back office will be finalised and you will receive all your percentages in crew. Then we'll give you a link to open your crew wallet. You will transfer all your crew to your crypto wallet. We shall wait 5 to 7 days, or most of you will transfer your crew to blockchain. So they're being very fair. They're going to actually leave that space for us to, take our time, help people in our teams if we have to. I'm going to recommend that you actually don't do this for your team, that you actually make them do it, because it's their responsibility now to step up and become responsible for their own finances. And then it just goes through the steps. So I really like this one because every month we shall add a new market to our unit exchange, right? So this is a really important one because this will help us grow and bring in outsiders to our blockchain, especially like in Bitcoin and different trading things. So all of a sudden we'll grow quite rapidly. But I really like it that they're going to take their time, because once a month will allow growth, and if there are any bugs or anything that may have been missed, we'll be able to resolve them pretty quick. And this is another one. We open the registration for unit exchange 1,000 people per day. That's not us. This is the public coming in. So they'll only open it up for the public 1,000 a day, and I actually think that's quite good, so they don't get smashed. So they've really thought about this really well. They've got, after 10 days and verification, we'll have the crew going to USDU, UNTB, USDUT. So all this is explained in Maria's webinar. So if you have the time, I really recommend that you actually take the time to watch this. And if you have to watch it 3 or 4 times to get it, that's okay. And another really good thing you can do is take notes when you're watching a webinar, because that really helps you learn things and remember things. So taking notes is a really good way to learn things very quickly. And here is the link. If you want to screenshot this link, I will post it in the chat after I've finished this webinar, so you can all take the link. But again, screenshot it, and I'll post the link, and we can you can all watch it. But you all have to watch this. But if you haven't watched Maria's webinar, you need to really start subscribing to her channel and start watching her webinars. In Maria's webinar, she posted an example of someone that had unblocked crew. So these are the options we have. So we can stake the crew, we can stake the UNTB, we can hold crew in our wallet. So why would you think you would hold crew in your wallet? Does anyone want to post a comment in the chat to why you would think you would hold crew and not do anything with it? Come on, I want to see some
Hi,
ideas.
Michelle. It's Yolanda.
Hi.
For quick liquidity, if you needed emergency money, then you can exchange it for USDU.
Correct.
And send it out in Bitcoin.
Correct. Correct. And that's really important for us all to have, is liquidity. This one I really like, P2P. So you can actually transfer your crew. If you keep it, if you don't move it, you can transfer it to somebody else in your team, or you can actually sell it. So you don't have to take it to the exchange. You can actually sell it internally. But that's quite a lot of options that we can do for our crew when we actually go to the exchange. So there's no one strategy that will work for everybody. So there's many factors that will determine what we do. One of the factors are, in my case, it's age. I'm probably going to look for liquidity a little bit so I can have a bit of fun, because I'm in my 50s, and it's kind of like, I'm not going to, but if I was in my 20s, I'd probably stake and wait a few years for it to grow in price. It depends on the amount you have. So if you haven't got as much as you'd like. You'd probably hold on and stake for long term. If you've got like lots and lots of queries, millions, you'd probably sell a bit off. So when you hear webinars of people doing things, don't follow the strategies. Take it on, write it out, and then look at your own crew and go, okay, now how does this fit? And even if it means doing it on a whiteboard, writing it all down and go, okay, if I did this and I did this, I'll get this. And think about it before you rush in to go and, you know, make decisions, because you really want to try and work out the best decision for yourself long term. Now, this is another thing Maria showed in her webinar. I'm not going to talk a lot about this, but it's just what she did. So she used different staking time, and the reason why she did that is because she wanted different, for her strategy, she wanted her crew to come out at different times so she could sell maybe, or stake again, or have that liquidity. So that's something interesting. That is not what everyone should do, but it was just what Maria showed in her webinar as an example. So my message to you tonight is focus on what you have. Don't focus on what the leaders have or your team has or has not. You need to start taking time out of your busy day, and I'm just as bad as you guys. I often work 7 days a week in my business outside of crew, and sometimes I let things go past and I miss webinars, and you know, that's kind of really hard, but it's there. It's right there, and we have only a little bit of time now to learn about what we're doing and what we have. So when I see questions in the chat and in all the social media groups, and I know these questions have been answered in a lot of the official webinars, it shows me that people are not taking the time to learn about what they have and making decisions about your have. And that's a really scary thing, because if you listen to Maria's webinar, she said out of 100 people, only 4 staked. And that's pretty scary numbers. And the people that did stake, like me, that was kind of cool for me, because I made a lot of UNTV. So it will all happen at the beginning of when we go live and we get that chance to stake. It's really important us little guys get in there and stake and make the time, because the leaders are pretty busy. So, you know, we want to rise up. Like we want to do something and make this work for us. And we're going to probably get 3 months of getting like bulk UNTVs. So let's all do this. Let's all take the time. Let's have some constructive discussion on, even on our Telegram group. If you're not part of it, join it. But you do actually need to start taking that time to learn about and focus on what you have. So my big thing is your upline is not responsible for your finance. And this is what I really want you all to remember. Do not expect your upline to trade for you. It's not going to happen. They're not going to be able to do it, and they shouldn't be doing it. And you should not expect them to. Do not expect your upline to set up your wallet, or anybody else. You've got to learn how to set up your wallet. You've got to take the time, and you must do this. And in the last webinar, I suggested to everybody to just set up just any crypto wallet, just to test it out and then go through the process. And if you haven't done that, just pick a wallet. You probably won't use it, but just pick it and pick one and select one, and then set it up just to go through the pain and the learning experience, especially if you don't have one. You must take responsibility for your own logins and passwords and guard them. Now, I cannot stress this hard. Like, this is, if you lose it, you're not going to get there's no password reset. So if you in blockchain, if you lose your seed, which is like, it's a really long password, you're not going to get back in. It's not able to be reset. It's not like other logins. So it's really important that you print this stuff out and guard it with your life, like it, because you do not want to be locked out of your wallet. So when this happens, do not just cut and paste it and, you know, lose it, because I know we're all responsible for losing our passwords, and we rely on the lost password function, but that will not happen on our exchange. So you need to really take that responsibility and keep these logins. It's time to make time to learn how to trade if you are new to trading. And I put my name down as a tester because I really wanted to learn about it, but I also wanted to see it, and I just wanted to have a go. And I didn't really think I was going to do any good because I thought, oh, okay, I'll probably be fumbling around. But because I actually took the time to listen to those instructions, and I didn't rush in and try to do it really in 5 minutes, I actually taught myself, and it's actually quite easy to use. It's not something that I was used to using in the past. Like, I haven't ever done anything like that, but I did it. So I say to everybody out there, if I did it, you can do it. Do not share your wallet logins with anyone unless you 100% trust them. And I say 100% because once they have your wallet, they can transfer funds out of it. So they can move stuff out. They can, so do not give anybody your wallet login unless it's someone close to you and you 100% trust them. Not 99, 100%, because this is not going to work for you guys. It's like giving them access to your bank account with your logins, and they can just transfer CRU or WCR out in time. So really take care of that. And that's probably the best advice we can give you, Richard and I, like, is making that time. So my thing is, I'm actually going to give you over to Richard, and he's going to take control of it and share his screen.
Michelle, can I ask one question first?
Yeah,
have they released the Q&A? You know, they had the 47 question Q&A and it was only in Russian. Has that been released?
Not yet. No, not yet.
I've got it in English.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I got a copy of it in. I thought everybody got one. I got one this morning.
I didn't get it.
Where did you find it, Richard?
I'll post it. I thought everybody got it. Yeah, I got it. Who gave it? I got it sent to me. Someone posted it to me. I'll have to check. I can, hang on a minute. Hang on. How do I post something in this group? Somebody? How do I?
There's a file in the chat. There's a file button.
Okay, hang on a minute. Hang on now. Gee, now you're testing me. Where do I go? Hang on, where do I go? I've got to go to chat. Okay, chat. Hang on.
Down on the bottom, says file.
Hang on, where does it say file? I've got security, participants, chat, reactions. Okay. Oh, there it is. Oh, yes, yeah, file. Yep. Oh, click on that. Okay. Now that's a worry.
If you go to your computer, you can go into the.
Yeah. Okay. I tell you what, Michelle. Why don't you just chat to people for a minute, and so everybody's
not. So does anybody want to ask me anything about I can't tell you a lot of stuff, but I can tell you some things about the external exchange. So if anyone wants to bombard me with questions, I'll try to answer them.
Hey, Michelle, I'll ask you a quick one.
Sure.
Well, maybe it's a quick one. So you got the 1.5. It was interesting. So everything I've been watching, the way I've understood it is the less people that stake, the more UNTB I would be rewarded. Okay.
Correct.
So okay.
Look at it like this, right? I'll just explain it to you. Let's just make it an easy number. Let's make it like 100 an hour, okay? So say they're releasing 100 an hour, right? I know they're going to release a lot more, but I'm going to just use this example as a
So this morning, Michelle, they actually said 7 million a day they worked out is how many.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With a beneficiary.
So I'm just going to make this sort of really easy. So say like say for the 100, right? Say let's go 100 an hour as an example. So out of that 100 an hour, one person stakes. Well, that person would get that 100. But say there was 10 people that staked. Well, then 10 people would get 10. So there was 100 people that staked. Then 100 people would get 1. And then if it goes to 500, it'll be point something. So that's how it works. So when we go to the exchange, this is how it'll work. Not everyone is going to stake straight away. And they found that in the testing, like there was 100 people as testers, right? And these people were not just anybody. They were leaders. They were like Neela and Namans and, you know, people like that. And they didn't stake. Even Andre didn't stake apparently. So, because they were all too busy. And that is what is going to happen. There'll be people that will have this, and then they won't even probably set up their wallet on day one. So those that get in and make an effort will actually get more in staking.
Yeah.
So
now,
it's quite an interesting concept.
I think I just put that document in the chat. I think can someone check to see if I've done that right?
Didn't work for me, Richard.
No, Richard, it looks
what
like
we can do is we'll upload it in the Telegram group maybe, and then.
Yeah, I think that's where I saw it. It was in one of the Telegram groups. If it's the same Q&A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Sorry about that, guys. One of
Does
these
everyone
days
understand what I just said?
I'll get computer
sorry.
savvy.
Does everybody understand what I just said about staking, like how that will work? So you think about it, right? When people start coming in and they start realizing that after 2 or 3 weeks even, they go, oh my God, I'm missing out on UNTBs, I'll get active. More and more people will come in and then we'll get less and less UNTBs. So the idea is for people like, you know, we're all the little people. So we need to get out there and just get in there fast and make that effort. Like, you know, I want to see us rise above the leaders. Like, come on, guys, we've got this.
Michelle, were you staking CRUs or WCRUs?
I was staking both. And I staked, and then I staked UNTBs, which got me credits in RAM. I'm not quite sure how that works, but apparently on a blockchain exchange, you need to have like credits in RAM, or you buy it with your UNTBs, and that's why external people will come in and want to buy our UNTBs. But if you stake your UNTBs, you'll get credit on RAM without it affecting your, without you having to buy it. So that's quite an interesting, I still don't know 100% how that works, but I did it anyway. So I got RAM for free, like or as part of my staking.
You get, when you stake UNTB, you can increase the processing power of the exchange, as well as increasing your memory, which if you're going to go into your back office once a week and just check what the status is, move a few things around and not do a great deal, you aren't going to need a lot of UNTB because you don't need a lot of processing power to do that, or you don't need a lot of memory to do that. But if you're going to become someone who wants to trade on the exchange, then you need very, very the maximum computing power, because trades are made in milliseconds. So you're going to need a very, very fast system, and you'll also need a lot of memory because you will be collecting a lot of data. So it really depends on what you're going to do on the in the exchange, or whether you're just going to go onto blockchain, look at your crypto wallet at the, once or, a couple of times a week, do that sort of stuff. That's where the difference in staking for UNTB with UNTB, because you'll never run out of UNTB, because it'd be a shame if you went to do something and you don't have enough, and you've got a little advisement there on your screen saying you need to go buy some UNTB, so then you'll have to scurry around. And there will be a book on the exchange, which is an open book for people who are wanting to sell CRU or UNTB. They'll have listed in the book what they're prepared to do it for, and then you would have to buy it from them you didn't have enough staked. But because we're going to be, if you've got crew staked or world crew staked for UNTB, you're going to be earning it. You earn it every second. Every second the exchange is operating, you're earning you're actually earning UNTB, and you can sell them as you earn them if you want to. You can just keep selling them. But that's the reason why you do it, because you're wanting more memory space and faster computing power. But there's something that, a lot of this stuff is really interrelates to our token, and particularly the new token that we got. Most of us were very familiar with what a security token is, because we'd been talked about it ever since Crew was born, that we would eventually have this security token. So there's been a lot of people that now sort of wonder, well, sort of kind of what's happened. And so what I wanted to just sort of talk about a little bit is to try and put into some sort of a frame exactly what's happened since Crew started, and some of the things that have happened that have had to be addressed along the way to where we end up not with Crew like we always thought we would, but we've ended up with World Crew. And to just try and create a picture so everybody understands. And the thing that there was two types of tokens. That's in the security tokens, there's two types. There's a security token, and a security token by definition is a token that is backed by a single service or product. It might be gold, it might be real estate, it might be diamonds. De Beers have one. The diamond industry have one, and the security is based in one particular product or service or area. The other token that you have, when it's still a security token, but it's slightly different, and it's what our token is. It's a native token. In other words, it's created by the company who has launched it. And it is always going to be a token that has many different segments backing it. And that's where it gets it. It's native to the company who has created it, rather than it being an industry associated token. And so we were always creating, Crew was always heading down the pathway to be our native security token. Then what happened is we found out that, we actually found out we got some bad advice. Originally, we weren't told what we found out later. And when we got to the point of approaching the Securities Exchange Commission, they advised us that because we had already been selling Crew as our quote unquote security token, they wouldn't allow it, because to be able to sell a security token, you have to first of all have an effective status of your application awarded to you by the Securities Exchange Commission. You just simply cannot start selling a token, call it a security one, and then a little bit down the track go and have a chat to the Securities Exchange Commission and say, hey, this is what we're doing, put a stamp on it. It doesn't work that way. They absolutely will not allow it. So and now we had been told that they would. So the problem was instantly created there, that we had to go back to square one, submit an application, submit our paperwork, submit our documents, do all of that stuff, and go right back to where we should have gone in March 2019 before we launched Crew. But we didn't know that. So in the moving to now be compliant with the Securities Exchange Commission, we had to create a new token. We had to come up with another one, which is where World Crew came into existence, because that was the one that we made the application for, and that's the one that the Securities Exchange Commission have given us our effective status on. And the Securities Exchange Commission are extremely pedantic about that. Is all that they do. They take your application, they look at it, they go through the details of it, and if you can prove and substantiate the things that you have said in your application, they then will give you an effective status. That's all they do. It's an effective status. It's not an approval. It's not a registration, whatever it is. It's an effective status. You'll see, if you have a look at that document that's floating around now from the Securities Exchange Commission, you will see it's got their effective status, the effectiveness date. And that's the only thing that they give you. Now, if you screw up and if you don't perform with your security token, they can withdraw that effective status. And that's the thing that, that's the power. That's the only thing that the Securities Exchange Commission have. Now, one of the options that they have, and it's the option that our company took, is you can apply for an open status, effective status, where everybody and anybody can come and buy your token, or you can apply for a restricted token. And we opted for the restricted token. And what happens with a restricted token is the SEC don't ask you for a staggering amount of paperwork and details and information that can sometimes take them 12 months to process. They get a more general overview of your company and your particular application, and then they say, we will give you an effective status, but you can only operate with sophisticated and accredited investors. You can only do your trading with people who are deemed intelligent enough in the investment world to be able to look at your application and look through your processes and look through your paperwork and be able to make an informed decision. So instead of with an open application where they go through to protect an unsophisticated investor by going through finite details, they bypass that and say, no, we will give you this restricted status, and then you can only trade with sophisticated people. So that's why Crew, World Crew, W Crew, is going to be sold solely by UGPay. We're not going to be, you and I are never going to, we're not going to be selling World Crew. We're going to, UGPay are going to sell it. We can buy it if we're sophisticated investors, or we're going to do it through a broker, but you and I won't be able, because I'm not accredited that way yet, but we can buy and sell Crew, which introduces a very new type of token, and it's called a gateway token. And this is why Crew is going to be absolutely staggering. If you really get to understand this next bit that we're going to talk about gateway tokens, you will really understand how incredibly valuable Crew is going to become, and why the thing that Yolanda was talking about, why you don't stake everything and why you leave some open for the reasons of liquidity, is because an average person on the street, an unsophisticated, non-accredited person, can come and buy our CRU, our CRU, and then they can go and exchange it for a security token. And that's never, ever, ever been done before. Never. And it took SEC a little bit of time to work through that, but they conceded that. And it's something that makes CRU an incredible token to own, because it's the only chance that an unsophisticated person is going to get to be able to just go and buy a security token. And when you're putting your CRU, whether you're selling it peer-to-peer or whether you're selling it in the book on the exchange, it is really important to know and to put a really relevant price on CRU. Now, CRU, once CRU is exchanged for World CRU, that particular CRU token is getting burned and destroyed. They're going to burn, the day the crypto exchange opens, they're going to burn 45 million of them straight off. There's only going to be 35 million left, and that's to cover the 30 million that all of us, billion, sorry, yeah, correct, billion. That's going to cover the 30 billion that we all own at the moment. The 2 billion that Andre is going to be handing out in this gift that he's running, and 3 billion is being kept to cover the staking that's going to go on with the 8% staking. And when we move to blockchain, the staking where you're able to stake your unlocked CRU for CRU, anything through the staking process that's going to be there. So once that 3 million though has a billion, thank you, before you corrected me, I got it that time. Once that 3 billion has gone, that's it. All those staking options are gone. And that's why when we go to blockchain now, we don't have the option of being able to cancel at will. When we stake for 3 months, for 6 months, for 2 years, whatever that staking is, whether we do the Eventi 3-year thing, it's locked in. We don't have any choice, because out of that 3 billion CRU, the company has to separate and allocate to the staking processes CRU to pay those people when the payments are due to be made. So there's only going to be a very small amount of that 3 billion left. The only other place where you can get them is us. We own all of the other ones. And so as time ticks on, CRU is going to be a very, very valuable token to actually have. And one of the things, and this again gets back to this thing about liquidity, is as the popularity of our blockchain and our program and the whole thing of World CRU and CRU, as it starts to take up and pick up speed, if people have locked all of their CRU away in the Eventi staking program, the only people who are going to be able to sell their CRU are people who have in their crypto wallets unlocked but not staked CRU. So there's a 6-month window where a lot of people have already locked their CRU up. They're not going to be able to take advantage of. So if you haven't, and you listen to what Maria was saying, the value of having some available so you can create that opportunity for liquidity and to sell them. There's a 6-month window that those that have got it are going to be able to exploit and do. With that in mind, I'll take a breath in a minute, but we'll just get to this final point. With that in mind, what is really something really important to do is packaging, is to, when we can promote on social media CRU. Can't promote World Crew. That's one of the big no-nos for the restricted license that we have. But we can promote Crew, and we can promote it as a gateway token to a security token. Now, it's a security token that you are not able to name, but you can promote it. And you also can promote that you also have UNTBs. And you can package the both of them for people. So if people want Crew, they have to have UNTBs. And if you're a person that they get to realise and know because you've promoted it, that if they come to you, not only can they get Crew, but they can also get UNTB, you will become a source which makes selling them, because you don't have to go through the book on the exchange. You can bypass the exchange and just go peer-to-peer. They can come to the blockchain, they can open their wallet, and you can trade with them without having to go through the exchange. So it's just another thing to think about, that don't see UNTB as one thing and Crew as something else. Think about packaging them, because if you become the one-stop shop for someone to come to our blockchain with, you will sell yours. The whole purpose of what you're doing is to have a liquid token and two liquid tokens. You'll do a whole lot better by packaging them together and letting people know that you have that, that you've got both of them. So that's sort of something that's really important. Now, before we move to anywhere else, questions. Is there anybody got questions?
Richard.
Yeah, mate.
Can you just touch on why the 6 month window? They did say about the one-to-one exchange for 12 months. What's the 6 month window?
No, okay. The 6 month window is people that do that Eventi staking.
March.
Yeah. They do for the next 6 months. They can't do anything with that Crew. So those that have unlocked Crew can. Now, what's going to happen while that 6 month period, and everybody that staked it for that, I don't think they thought it through far enough. We're going to hit CoinMarketCap. We're going to hit CoinMarketCap the moment that exchange opens. We got 3 months, and in 3 months and 1 day, we will hit CoinMarketCap. Now, that's going to give us, who have got unlocked Crew and UNTB to package, a huge, big advantage, because for 3 months, all of those people that have locked everything up in the Eventi program are not going to be able to do anything about it. They'll cash in when they start getting their 4%, but who's going to get that first big bite of that CoinMarketCap? It's going to be the people that have got unlocked Crew and UNTB to package up and sell. So it's just something, it's not the be all and end all of things, but it's just another one of those things that we just need to think about, and just don't jump into particular bandwagon. And it's the same as if you can stake for 3 months. Well, you might stake a whole lot of your unlocked Crew just for 3 months. So it is it's becoming free just as that CoinMarketCap opportunity starts to open up. So again, it's just things that we've never really had to go through and think about, but now it's coming to us, and it's sort of, it's very, very, it's just around the corner. And as Michelle was saying, with all the testing, that it's, you know, the polish that they're doing is a few things that they found that just needed to be touched up a little bit. You know, and then Maria mentioned in the webinar that the testing ended on the 10th. The auditors are in now looking at the exchange. They have to run a series of tests and a series of processes that they go through, because we're ensuring, to be able to take out insurance on the exchange, we have to get an auditor's report to say, give it a security rating and how much, what our premiums are going to be. will be related to how secure the auditors say that our exchange is. So, you know, and she suggests that that's a month. So if it doesn't start till the 10th of October, it's probably sometime round about the 11th or 12th of November that will probably be looking more like an opening time. That gives Maria time to do all of the things that Michelle and the testers found that needed to be fixed up. So it's just a matter of putting all these things in a timeline and just sort of being prepared to hit that, because like Michelle was talking about, that she cleaned up on UNTB because she was one of only 4 other people that were doing it.
I know. I couldn't believe it. I swear, I could not. I didn't. I thought everybody would have done it. Like, because I just thought, oh, you know, that's just what you would do. Like, we've had so many webinars and we've been trained, and we all know we've got to do it. So I just thought that was just what we were expected to do. So I was so surprised.
Yeah, we actually saw it going on, and it's a really, really simple process to do, quite honestly. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. You are not going to get a job at NASA knowing how to stake. It truly is very, very easy. So
I might just add too, like we're all busy, right? So we've all got jobs and different things in our lives. So staking is actually, if you're not a trader, staking is something that you should do anyway, because it's like, why leave your crew and your WCRU up there and not get any interest? So, you know, it's actually not, it's a 5-minute job. So, you know, if you do nothing, if you're not going to trade, even if you're going to sit on your portfolio, stake it. Like, just take the time and stake it.
Yeah. So is there any
because
other,
you can actually unlock it too.
Yep.
So
go Jonathan.
One more question, sorry. Thank you so much. So I remember them saying that the Aventi staking was going to be available for as long as the internal exchange was down. Now there's not going to be an internal exchange, it's going to be only the external exchange, and we're probably not looking at that till November. Do you think that we're still going to, coming up to sort of Christmas or the New Year, do you think there's going to still be an opportunity to buy some unlocked CRU and stake in that fashion?
No, I'd reckon well and truly by the end of November, that's all done and dusted. That'll be long gone. I don't know. I'm not told by anybody that that's going to happen, but just if you look at everything that they're doing and all the comments and all of this thing, is they really, you know, I mean, I could tell, I believe when I looked at Andre talking at Aventi, that I think he was really genuinely sorry that it wasn't up and running at Aventi. I got a feeling that he really, really wanted it, but more than he wanted it to be right.
Yes.
And so he, as much as he wanted it, he was prepared to step away from that and take the time that it needs to get it right. But I tell you, the day that Maria says to him, "It's right," the next day it'll be on. You know, I cannot see that he will hold that up for any length of time. But they did say, in fairness, just so people don't get sort of alarmed about it, is that from the time they do open up the crypto exchange, no one's going to be earning any UNTB for at least a week.
Yeah, I think that they separated that really well, saying that the exchange and the blockchain were different. We're going to be able to stake on the blockchain. It's going to be a week before UNTB are issued, but exchange is separate from that again. Something that just sort of come through just then. I wonder if that staking option will only sort of really like tap out when the 3 billions hit.
Yeah, no, they will, as soon as that 3 billion it's first come, first served. And that's going to be it. That just won't exist. And then if you do get that, but what we have is with the company, they can always change staking. It might be for basalt tokens, or it can be for gold or real estate or movies. There's other things that they can bring in when crew runs out. You know, it's not going to be, I just can't see the company is a company that when they run out of one option, that's it. Oh, gee, guys, haven't thought of anything. They will be right now planning what they're going to replace it with. But crew has got a 3 billion, and that's it. And once they're gone, they're gone.
So Richard, when you're talking about the Eventi staking for not giving out anything for 6 months, what about the 1% or the 3 months to the 2 year ones? They're going to be paying their released crew every month.
Yeah, that's right. And so that's why that's the point that you're making is so many people seized that 8% and, you know, the 4 and 4 and not really thought through what's going to happen in this next 6 months. And because in this next 6 months, some really big things are going to happen with this company. And so the 3 months and the 6 months and those lesser periods of time are going to be really, really valuable. And so and it's the same as what Maria was saying is just think about all of what's going to happen in the next, you know, period of time, and don't necessarily just jump into that 8% thing and think, oh, you know, I'm going to make all this money at the end of 3 years. Well, yes, you will, but there might be other things that you miss out on along the way. So it's just something that I had figured that out a little while ago, that this CoinMarketCap release, that's going to be really, really big when that hits. And
well, Richard, the big thing about that is if you just look at the 45 million WCRU that will be there, and you look at market capitalization, even if we hit just $1, we will have a market cap above Ethereum and be just under Bitcoin.
Wow.
And if we go to $4 or $5, we will exceed Bitcoin as the #1 security token for market capitalization on the globe.
Yeah. And if you follow CoinMarketCap, you'll know that there are a lot of traders who simply watch tokens going up that chart. And that's one of the things that they look at. And with our World Crew, as it's going up the chart, and while it's going up the chart, they're earning a dividend in the meantime. They're not waiting till it gets to a price before they can sell, and they might sell it when it gets to a certain price with Crew and with World Crew when they can start doing it. They're earning a dividend in the meantime, which you're not earning from Bitcoin. You're not earning from any of these other security tokens. So it's going to be something that people will really they'll understand it very, very quickly. People that study CoinMarketCap will understand what this token's all about and the power of it.
Michelle, I have a question for you. Sorry, Mike Day, I've never joined your chat group. This has been wonderful. Thank you.
Pleasure.
As a tester, once you convert CRU to WCRU, that is the only way you can stake for UNTBs is with WCRU, correct?
No, you can do
stake. You can stake your unlocked crew for for UNTB as well.
Okay, great. Okay, but
so the idea is to stake both Crew and WCRU. That's the smart thing to do. So on the testing, we weren't allocated lock Crew. So but I was able to stake both Crew and WCRU, and so the idea is to stake everything you can.
Yeah, that's my plan. I guess the one question I had was, when you convert CRU to WCRU, are you still able to do the peer-to-peer with the WCRU? No.
it's locked for 360 days. So so when we convert, like everyone that converts to WCRU, they will have to wait 360 days before they can do anything, really. It's locked.
But at the end of that year, you would be able, like, so within your family, you would be able to transfer WCRU between accounts to, you know, top.
Once it's
I think you can do that by the block, by wallet. Like, you'll be able to transfer it by your wallet to them if you had to.
That's right.
So you would be able to transfer that to another wallet.
Yeah, wallet to
but
wallet.
They have another wallet. Yeah, so you can transfer it to wallet if it's unlocked, because on the exchange, we could actually transfer Crew unlocked and to another wallet if we had to.
Right. So if most of your CRU is all locked, then you can't do peer-to-peer transfers of anything that's locked.
Correct.
So you're better off, rather than, because I think our CRU unlocking stages are higher, like 540 days than compared to the World Crew. Is that what Maria was saying in last night's webinar?
No, what she was saying was that the bonus crew that we have received that had a 540-day locking period, that's rescinded with to a 360. When you convert your bonus crew to World Crew, when you convert that, then it goes to a 365 locking day. So and not the 540.
And you're talking about the stuff from the marketing plan when you get your 8% in units plus bonus crew. That's the stuff that's locked for 540. And then when you convert it to World Crew, then it goes down to 365. Okay, that's clear now. And that was a really good point, I think, for a lot of people here that I didn't understand, was that you can't do peer-to-peer transfers or wallet-to-wallet transfers of blocked crew. So that was that's actually a really big point, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because if you want to give someone World Crew, you've got to give it to them as crew. As you know, you've got to give them to it. You've got to give it to them as unlocked, and then let them convert it to World Crew.
Right.
Yeah.
You just got to know. Just got to go through the steps, the procedure.
Yeah. So you would have unlocked crew, and then you would send it to peer-to-peer internal, and then they would transfer it to their wallet, and then convert it to WCRU. But they will still then have to wait 360 days before they can do anything with it anyway. So you can do it that way. That's a good way to do it.
So the reason I was asking those questions was we've got a family of 5, and we've, as the adults, we've bought the majority of the share, but I wanted to redistribute some of the wealth, so to speak, to the kids who were minors later, and we didn't want to put a whole bunch of investment into their portfolios not knowing what the rules around minors would be. So, but we want to make sure that we can redistribute that crew or CRU or World Crew later. And I guess, just understanding the rules around.
What you would have to do, Mike, is set them up with accounts first. So you have to go through the process of doing the ID, and which is quite intense. Have you already done that?
Yeah, we joined a year ago through Sue. So all the kids have accounts. They've already got purchases.
Right.
They've got small portfolios compared to my partner and I, but we just wanted to equalize things a little bit and redistribute some of it later. And when Maria started talking about being able to transfer crew peer-to-peer, I thought that was fantastic. We could equalize, or we could, redistribute as we saw fit. But now you're saying, well, we can't do that until it unlocks.
So you would wait till your crew unlocked. So you would, depending on when you joined, it'd be different times. So you would wait till that crew started unlocking, and you would transfer the unlocked crew to your children's account. And then you would do it on their behalf to the exchange, to the wallet, and then you would convert it to WCRU for them.
Yeah.
That's how you would do it.
If we have unlocked crew now, can we transfer that peer-to-peer?
So,
Right
sorry,
now.
I've just missed that last word.
Sorry, I've got a bit of asthma. Sorry. If we have unblocked crew now,
Yep.
transfer peer-to-peer now on the internal?
No,
Okay.
they stopped that. We used to be able to, but they stopped that. That won't come back until till we go to blockchain.
Okay, so we have to wait to blockchain.
Yeah.
Yes, I love your idea about the package of the unlocked crew with the UNTBs. Are you thinking that would be a 1-to-1 ratio, or do you think it'd be less UNTBs?
No, it'd be less UNTBs. You just got to. We will know, certainly by the time that comes up, we will know how many UNTB we're burning up in our activity on the blockchain, and that's something that they're not going to be able to say a given amount, because not everybody will use it differently, but a person who's trading will burn through more UNTB, will use up more UNTB than someone who's just going in there once a week to just have a look at their accounts and, maybe adjust things. So you would need to you'd need to know that if you're going to be talking to someone who's coming to you from CoinMarketCap, they're probably going to be a trader. And so they will need a lot of UNTB. But even if we're not talking about packaging, it's not necessarily putting a number of crew together with a number of UNTB. It's just letting people know that from you they can get both. And it's just being, don't look at one and then look at the other, but look at them together and present that, when people come to you, they can get both.
And we can set our own price on that, can we?
Say again?
We'd be able to set our own market price for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you feel that you could go up on crew and down on UNTB, or the other way around, or however you want to negotiate it, it is totally up to you. And if you can do it peer-to-peer, you keep them away from the exchange.
Interesting. Thank you.
It's just something to think about. Not saying, everybody's got to do it, but it's just another alternative the company gives us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just going to throw that other thought in there. It seems that a block or 40 UNTB was 10,000 transactions. So I don't know how relevant that's going to be to what what we're going to need RAM wise, but yeah, just a thought.
Yeah. It won't take you long. I mean, probably we're all going to be watching our screens and watching our wallets and seeing how quick we use up UNTB and all. I think we'll learn pretty quickly how much UNTB we're all going to need. I don't think that'll take a long time.
That is something that I was curious about. Like, so there's, a certain amount of UNTB. Do UNT just evaporate, or do they kind of get frozen in our account? We've used that much RAM. So I don't know. Someone just muted me. I was just where did I get up to in that question?
You were saying, does it get frozen, or what happens?
Yeah, so the UNTB that we have that we're using for our processing, our trades, our holdings, or whatever, does that just evaporate and just disappear, or does it get burnt and then disappear, or does it stay kind of fixed in our account? So say we've got a gig of RAM and we'll always have a gig of RAM, and then maybe we're going to need more.
You'll use it up, but it's redistributed as the next lot of blocks are created. So there's 8 billion. There's 8 billion. Better get the B in the end. But there's 8 billion of them just over, and they'll keep moving around.
Right.
But
that's going to take 10 years, right, Richard?
Say again.
For all 8 billion to be mined and minted, that's going to take 10 years, and then at the end of the 10-year period, the 8 billion 100 and whatever is going to remain within the exchange. And Jonathan, my understanding is that the the value at that point will be whatever it will be, because it'll be more valuable, because there will only ever be that 8 billion and whatever change, and they will stay forever. They don't get burnt. They just, that's all the RAM and CPU and whatever that will run the whole exchange for years to come. And
basically the commissions that will forever be, every trade and every commission, every fee from every transaction will be the benefactors of that by having
except for there's no fees, commissions or charges on our blockchain.
Yeah, but the UNTB is what facilitates that. So therefore, all of the commissions of our entire blockchain goes to the UNTB holders.
Okay, I'm not quite sure.
You know what I mean? Well, if someone wants to make $1 million trade, they're going to have to buy a certain amount of UNTB to make that $1 million trade.
Well, no, because to actually make a trade, to make $1 million trade, we'll use the same RAM and computing power of making a $10 one. It's a couple of extra digits. It's just a couple of digits on the thing. That doesn't add much to your data usage or anything. It's not relative to the size of your transaction. It's relative to how much space it takes up on the blockchain.
Right.
And putting an entry of $1 million doesn't add that much more data space to putting an entry in for $10. It's
right.
It's four more digits. So it's got nothing to do. That's one of the attractive things about our blockchain, is that there are no commissions for those, trends. So someone coming to do a $10 billion, 10 million, 10,000, he just buys his UNTB and he can go do his transaction, which will make it incredibly attractive for people to come to our blockchain.
Right. Okay. I thought thought it would be ratioed to the size of the size of it all. But okay.
It's relative to how much capacity you're using up on the blockchain.
Okay. Thanks.
Hey, Michelle, just further on to that last line of questioning I had there. Once we get all 5 of us, like miners or not, the miners are going over to the blockchain, right? And if we decide to change their CRU to WCRU, that's still okay, right? Yeah. We can stake their CRU for them. It's just we can't sell or liquidate anything because they're miners. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay. They're going to clarify that on Saturday night. Mila is going to talk about that on Saturday night. What miners can and can't do.
Perfect. And then if we all go and convert, like let's just say our decision is to convert all our CRU to World Crew for all 5 of us, then we stake everything for UNTBs in all 5 accounts. Then we wait 365 days. Then all of our World Crew is now unlocked, and we could transfer them peer-to-peer between the members at that point.
Yep.
Exactly.
Unlocked.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking these questions, just for everyone to sort of understand, is I understand you guys are also looking into some sort of I guess, generational planning with regards to structures or entities or whatever. And I guess it's important for me to understand when we set up a structure and say we then take all 5 of our family members and transfer it into that trust, when can we do that? How does that happen so that we then can protect our assets within a trust structure or something and just be beneficiaries of that trust structure so that we can, I guess, not expose ourselves. So I want to do property development. So those sort of roles have risk, and you don't want to have assets if you're taking those sort of risks. So it's better for it to sit in a trust and be a beneficiary.
I can answer this for you. With trust and stuff, like you're in the US, right? So you would have to have it.
I'm here in Australia. I'm Canadian.
Oh, you're in Australia? Cool. Well, you will have to get professional advice on that one. That's something Richard and I can't give you advice on.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was talking about the semantics of how we can move stuff peer-to-peer so that eventually when we end up opening up some sort of entity for whatever protection based on the advice we get, when we can move it, right? And
when it's unlocked.
Yeah, I think the thing to be clear about with that though, Michael, was just that there's the thawing process from that first 365 days as well. Like it's not all going to be unlocked. You're going to have 6 months at 1%. You're going to have 6 months at 1.5%. You know, there's still a thawing process for another 3 years after that.
That's true. So, you're right. And that's in the white paper. Yeah.
That's important to remember. I've got a question from Shirley, and she's said, what about new people who just come in? Do they have to wait 12 months before they can stake? Yes, they do.
Hey Richard,
if they've come in, if they've been in for 2 weeks, and they've got blocked crew, they can convert that to World Crew and stake World Crew straight away. They don't have to wait. They have to wait to get unlocked crew, but they can stake their locked crew straight immediately. They convert it to World Crew, then they can stake that.
Yeah, and remember what Maria said, try to keep some crew just for future date, because ultimately crew is going to be very valuable to have. So
well, Andre in the closed meeting, he said he's going to keep a speculatory 1% of CRU and put it in the Eventi staking, is what he said he's going to do. He said the majority was going to put on a security token, but just with what you've brought up, Richard, it just makes me really consider like that, you know, the doorway that's going to provide to people is going to generally be inaccessible for people to get a security token, but they could get a CRU.
It is for a lot of people. It's going to be the way that they get
access point
to get a security token, and that's going to put a big price on crew.
And just clear about something else. We're not going to get any more CRU tokens for EIPs. Like once we're on the blockchain, that's done.
Done. Over. That's the end of it.
Installment payments, Richard. If you've got like multiple people in installment payments, and
no, they did say that the installment payments would pay out. I remember we talked to Armand's about that, and he was very clear that the people on installment payments would still be getting their crew after the crypto exchange opens. They will still get them. And that's part of that 3 billion crew. That's that last little bit that they have where they can do all of these adjustments. But then after that, that's really first come, first served, that 3 billion.
So it's only just for the staking. It's also for all the people on that CRUs for people on it to pay out bonuses who are still on installment plans, right?
All of that, it's all of that, and because all of those are accessible amounts, the company can look at through their registers and they can see, okay, we've got 150 million of this, we've got this, we've got that. They're known quantities. That's why anything that's an unknown, like cancelling when we go to blockchain and doing the 1 month staking, all of these things, all of those things are getting scrubbed. Anything that the company want to be able to have really defined amounts, so they'll know when that 3 billion runs out. You know, they will be monitoring that, and then they need to be working on what they're going to offer after that. All right.
It's funny, a lot of
Richard, I've got a question from Leanne, and she's written, I thought the 8% stake on the website that we have now is going to be finished and installed when the blockchain opens up. Is this correct? No, the 8% one we're stuck with
all of the stakings get stopped. All of the stakings get stopped, and all has to be redone once the blockchain opens.
Yeah, that was said. I think that was said in Andre's, is that everything, all the staking, is terminated.
And Maria,
the company are going to terminate that, and we don't know what day it'll be, but it'll be the day before you know, or it might be a couple of days before, but yeah, everything then has to be restaked and redefined.
Hey, Richard, you seem to have really good working knowledge of a lot of things here. In the call with Maria last night, she mentioned about when you're getting, if you're on the 8% of Venti and you're getting your bonus payments, or on any of them, sorry, on any of the stakings, you're getting your unlocked crew as your interest payment, right? Then she talked about compound interest. And are you allowed to take, say, your bonus or interest payments on a monthly basis in crew and then restake those to compound on top?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for ages.
Yeah.
It's mad. I think it's just crazy. What didn't come in? It's like, yeah, we'll stake that this month and boom, you know, it's like, it is mad how it works.
Yeah, I mean, you stake 5,000, say you get 200 that month as interest, and then you take those 200 and stake them, and then next month you get an extra 20 more on top of that, and then you stake those the next month.
Exactly. That's the way it works.
I was mind boggled by
that. It's mind blowing.
And while
I've been doing it since it's come out, and it's I cannot believe, like, as soon as it comes out, I check every day, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm staking. So I go like 2.5%, bang, it's in. Like, you know, so I've got all these mad stakes, like just rows and rows of it. And like, it's just mind blowing, guys. Like, all I would say is just like stake away.
I was flabbergasted because I actually thought I heard somewhere along the lines when staking first started a few months ago that you were not permitted to stake but I think what you were talking about was the bonus crew you get paid from selling EIPs or whatever that, you know, was locked. So I was like, oh, okay. So today was like a big eye-opening moment for me. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. But yeah.
I think they were more speaking to that it wouldn't
surprised at the amount of crew that I've made. Like, it's like I've just been doing the compound staking, and because you can always, like, you know, if you needed to, you can cancel if you have to. But like, I cannot believe, like, I didn't buy any. Like, I haven't bought any for ages because I've just been compounding the staking, and I'm quite surprised at the amount of crew I've made. I'm going, yep, this mama is going to be cool. And I'll just want to add another thing, right? I was telling my son is 21 and my daughter is 27, and they both think I'm a total nutbag because of this whole crew. And I've actually bought them some portfolio, like, and they do. And my son is starting to be an accountant, right? So he's right into Bitcoin trading and stuff like that. So I thought he would have known better. I get with my daughter, but I thought my son would have been right on this. And he actually is convinced that I'm just going through a midlife crisis or some kind of thing. And he's going, Mum, you're going to lose. And he's still saying that. Last week, like, I saw him and he's going, Mum, I don't want to talk about this. It's not going to happen. And I'm like, going, I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And it's really quite funny. And I'm sure we're all here going, yeah, this is what our, you know, family and friends and kids are doing to us. But that is what it's quite. Richard and I have a comment going that when we get our first $100,000 and we transfer it to our bank account, we're going to send our kids a screenshot with a finger. Like, here it is, guys. Like, we're talking.
You didn't want to talk about
Okay. If we move on, is there anybody else got any other questions? We just got some other things.
I'm sorry, I got one question because I'm a bit confused.
Yep.
So Mike's doing an instalment. I'm his sponsor. So when his monthly instalment comes out and it's passed, we're all on the blockchain then. Is the sponsor still getting the CRU? That's what I wasn't sure on.
The sponsor gets it if they are in the VIP club.
Yes.
Okay? So if you're in the VIP club, yes, you will still be getting it.
Oh, cool.
And will that CRU be paid into our current wallets or into the blockchain wallets?
They'll get paid into your blockchain wallet.
Ah, good. Okay.
You won't have when you move, you won't have any other wallet. We will only have that one wallet.
That's a really good point, because earlier this week, Chris Howell was talking about the opportunity we have in the next 2 to 4 weeks to bring in more people and build a bit of a business. And now that we've got all this credibility, the white paper, everything, right? So you could potentially bring in dozens or, you know, quite a few people where they were quite hesitant before, and now you'll have all these bonus CRU if they sign up to installment payments.
Oh, too right. Absolutely. And if you can show people that the Crew is this doorway, this gateway token to something that's pretty special, you've got something that people should be looking at, and you've got a really good selling thing, because you've got all the things that we've been wanting for so long. We've got them, and we've got them for probably you're looking at the middle of November. You've got that window till about the middle of November, and then it'll be closed. Anybody else?
Richard, I've just got a question from Sylvester.
Yeah.
I'm trying to read some of the questions in the chat. I haven't received any rewards for my stake in Am I Alone, and I could just say to you, Sylvester, there is a lot of people that have had that. It has been announced officially, so the company is working through and will credit all the staking due, and I've just started getting some of mine back. So I was just like you, freaking out for the last 4 weeks, going, oh my God. But yeah, I got some today, so that was good. That will happen.
So, Richard, I just wanted to get clear with what you just said there. You said mid-November. So you're saying that we will still have EIPs available even after the blockchain goes live at the beginning of November, all the way up until the exchange goes live? We'll be able to get EIPs, so we've probably still got another month?
No, I think that whole blockchain, the exchange, the whole thing, okay, I see the point, but okay, Richard Bonnell thinks it's not going to be opening until the middle of November. They've been always very adamant about opening blockchain and the exchange at the same time.
Yeah. Well, in Maria's conversation, she said that we would be going live first with everyone getting organised for 7 days with the staking, and then they would start the issuing of the UNTB, and then it would be another 4 or 5 days after that whole process or something that they would look at the exchange, and that's dependent on the auditing.
Yeah, well, the auditing
I posted the roadmap earlier, so that actually had their whole outline of what they were going to do. So that roadmap is in Maria's webinar. So that I agree with Richard. It won't be the 1st of November. We'll be all there. Look, it's going to take a while before, like a couple of weeks before it's all ready to go, I think.
But look, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it's all the 1st of November and we're all moving to blockchain. That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. And it helps people overcome that hurdle before they've got to go to the next hurdle. So it'd be great to do it with time in between. I really hope that does happen. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes, Leanne.
It's Leanne. I did hear Andre say that we won't need to be part of the VIP club to stake on the blockchain. But then I heard the other day someone saying that we will need to be part of the VIP club to stake on the blockchain. What is correct?
No, the blockchain, no, no, the answer is no. The blockchain, they can't tie the VIP club to the blockchain. It won't work. You've got Joe Smith, from back of Burke coming on to buy tokens or get involved with the exchange. They can't work the VIP club. One of the things that he did say, and he was very adamant about, that you have to be in the VIP club to participate in this TNG bonus. So just make sure that we've got the right sort of context. You've got to be in the VIP club to participate in that, but you do not have to be in the VIP club to be staking or doing anything through blockchain.
But people in the VIP club will get an extra percentage of loyalty bonus and profit bonus or dividends. Is that right?
Well, they get a VIP bonus. So if you're not in the VIP club, you will get your loyalty bonus or you get your profit bonus. If you're in the VIP club, you also get the VIP bonus.
Okay, so it's not like an extra percentage of dividend.
No.
Andrew Hawkes said yesterday on the 12:30 call that if the newer members, the members that don't have much, but just anybody basically, if they had already done a VIP since the VIP has started, they don't necessarily need to continue with their VIP if they don't wish to, but they will still get that bonus from the TN.
Yes, you've got to have paid 1 month from May. You have to have paid for 1 month's subscription in the VIP club, yeah. So if you've never been in one, you're running out of time real quick. You need to jump on.
And I just remind people too, to get the double bonus points after 12 months, you need to be VIP.
Yeah, that's true. That was the Venti thing, yeah. So that might have been, Leanne, what they were talking about. That's very good, Madeline.
Forgot about that one. Thank you.
Yeah,
and we've got Tony Lewis. He's got his hand up. So did you want to say anything, Tony?
Yeah. So my understanding with locked crew options, I can convert them to W crew and stake for UNTB.
Yeah.
I can hold them and wait for my continued unlocked crew to come, and that's it, right?
That's it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And when I do convert from locked crew to W crew, they are relocked for 365 days.
Correct. Yes.
Good deal. But I can stake all that W crew for UNTB, correct?
Yep. Yep. You can.
Deal.
Yes. Yep.
That's all I need.
All right. You're done. You were easy fix. You were easy fix. We're going to come to Kansas City. It's easy, dude.
Absolutely. Hey, in a couple months, I'll buy the tickets.
Oh, look out. That was good. Hey, this has been recorded. This has been recorded.
Wait a minute. Maybe in 6 months or 12 months.
Anybody else? No. Hey,
I've got a couple of questions in the chat, Richard. I hope I haven't missed any, but I'm going to read them out. Andre told us we had 12 months to convert CRU to WCRU, one-on-one. My question is, what could happen if we wait longer than 12 months to convert? That's actually a really good question.
Yeah. The price becomes a conversion to the market price. So just for the sake of ease of numbers, at the end of 12 months, and it could go either way, but say one crew is worth half a world crew. So you would have to trade 2 crew to get 1 world crew. It could be, and if people think that, look, there's a very real possibility that crew price could actually grow in the very early days faster than world crew price. As people understand about this gateway token. So some people will hold back and to see if that actually pans out. So it's a matter of watching the market and watching the price of those 2 tokens. And if it's looking like it's not going to be a good swap, then 11 and a half months into the program, swap. While you've got the, you know that you can get in for 12 months, 1 for 1. That's a lock. That's been assured by Andre.
I like your strategy.
Say
one
again?
day before the 12 months, you just convert it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what a smart person's going to do. Look, there's all sorts of permutations, you can do that. One of the other things is, one of the good reasons to convert now and get going is that you're converting while the price is low. You're letting the price grow, so that when in a year's time, when the money's there, you've got money to spend, you can sort of spend it. If you hold off for 11 months and then do your conversion, that's when your 12 months starts. So you've got to then go 365 days from that time when you do your conversion. So there's arguments. It's an incredible scenario that we have to work through as to what suits us, and what, you know, if someone says, you know, I'm independently wealthy and I believe that the crude price will go up harder than what the world crude price was, well, that person will hold off converting for as long as they can to see if that happens. But there's a lot of people who aren't traders. They're not money people. They're not, you know, they just need to, they just want something simple. So Andre said, look, you can do 1 for 1, swap it over, get your money, lock it up, and then stake it for UNTB, do a Michelle, clean up when everybody else is still trying to figure out what they're going to do. You know, and that's a good story. That's not a bad theory, but you'll get other people who will want to try and you know, make a little bit more, and that's not bad either. That we've got this incredible opportunity where there are so many pathways that we can take, and none of them are glaringly wrong. There's pluses to all of them, and it's just a matter of what suits our circumstance. You know, it's an incredible opportunity we've got to just look at all of them, and that's what Michelle was saying. Like, even if you've got to get a whiteboard out and write down all the permutations of, okay, if I transfer everything to World Crew now, what happens? What do I get for that? What do I lose? If I hang on, you know, till 11 months, what do I get for that, and what do I lose? And you got to go through the process for each and every one of us. Have got to go through it for ourselves and make that decision. But
Richard, if you stake, does it limit your ability to transfer?
Yes. Yeah. With staking now on blockchain, you cannot cancel your stake for the. So if you take it for 2 years, you can't transfer that for 2 years. It's going to stay staked for 2 years. You can't do what we can do right now on the internal exchange, where you can press a button, cancel your staking, get a recalculation, and then go do something with it. On blockchain, when you take out a staking, you are locked into that for the period of your stake, what you've set up.
So you can't have any other activity with that particular unit.
Exactly. That's, yeah, exactly. Perfect words.
And Richard, do you need to pay VIP fees every month to maintain that staking?
Not on blockchain. There's going to be a little bit of a change to the VIP structure. And I think that they're going to have to go through all of that VIP stuff. Anything to do with blockchain can't be tied to the VIP club, because it just doesn't work when on a public blockchain, on a public exchange. It just doesn't work. And so the company, there are internal things that the company can do with their members that can be VIP centric, you know, to VIP members, but things that are to do with the blockchain just can't be VIP reliant, because you can't hold the public to having to be in the VIP club.
Yeah, once all your stuff's transferred to blockchain, and even if you stake for 2.5%, 8%, some unlocked CRU, you convert your WCRU to, or sorry, your CRU to WCRU and stake for UNTBs. None of that requires VIP, but if you want to stay a VIP club member in the back office, then that gives you and affords you certain benefits to the closed group meetings, other promotions, things like that. Is that?
Well, it's like Madeline was said, that that double or nothing promotion that they ran for Eventi. You've got to be in the VIP club for that. The TNG bonus Andre's offering people, you have to be in the VIP club for that. There's that. There's also the things like the VIP club members are going to get first run at these EIPs that have basalt and movies and real estate and all of that. Those things are going to go to the VIP club members first. Right. They're going to, Andre is going to look after. He basically, it's you scratch my back, I'm going to scratch yours. You know, you look after me. You support the company. You become a genuine owner, investor, reinvestor. I will look after you.
And the TNG bonuses, when those come, I heard they're going to come before the end of this year on the new year or something.
Yeah, before New Year. Yep, that's what they've said.
Will those get paid to our blockchain wallets or into our back office wallets?
No, they will get paid. They'll get paid to our blockchain wallets.
Excellent.
Sure.
I've just got a question from Jen.
Yeah, mate.
As all our staking in the back office will end, can we then decide again how we will stake our crew from our blockchain wallet? Will there be all these different options showed earlier in the slide? I don't think they're going to give us hot files.
The what?
To do that. As I was staking the back, can we decide again how we will stake our crew from our blockchain wallet? Will there be all different options shown earlier in the slide? Yeah, we'll have a lot of options, but you're going to have to work out what you do.
Yeah, you'll have 3. I think they've taken away the 1 month option. That's gone. And what also has gone is the capacity to cancel. But everything else, the 3 months, 6 months, 18 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, and the 36 month, they're going to be your staking options, or just generally, when you stake for UNTB, that doesn't have a time limit attached to it. It's an open staking. Sure, Rick, yeah, mate. Did you want to say something, or are you waving to me? Hang on, unlock.
Sorry, I can't see your audio. It's not showing here.
Oh yeah,
there's something wrong with your audio.
Where's your microphone gone?
Yeah, there's no microphone.
You need to go into your settings and change your microphone in your settings. Not you, Richard, not you, Michelle, but he does. He needs to go in his Zoom settings and change his microphone.
Did you hear that? Go into set. Oh, here it is. There it is. He's done that.
There it is. Hang on. No.
Yeah, no, I saw his microphone just before.
Yeah, came up for a second.
It was there. Okay, anybody else got any question about anything?
Yeah, I do. So when we start to receive the dividend, and is that going to be applicable to the CRU as well as the double CRU? So whether we want to hang on to some CRU and we're going to stake some WCRU, doesn't matter, we're going to get dividend for either.
Yeah, you're going to get what Andre is doing. Remember all those months where we didn't get any dividend or profit bonus? Well, all those little profit bonuses he's been keeping for us. and he's going to give them all to us in a one-off payment. So we'll get all those little bits. Now, I had heard that was going to be in November, but with everything just being backed up a little bit, it might not be till December. But all those little profit bonuses over the last, 12, 15 months that we missed out on, we're actually going to get, which is a nice little bonus from the man. But,
and do we need to be VIP for that as well?
No, you don't have to be in the VIP club to get bonuses, because anybody who owns Crew will get dividend or profit bonuses.
Okay. I'm only asking for the number of people that have only got small holdings and they didn't want to be doing the monthly VIP, even though it's only $10.
Yeah. No. If the day that dividends are declared, the people who own WCRU or Crew on that day are the people who get that dividend. So that's something to bear in mind when you start moving Crew around, that if you've held on to Crew for the whole month and you sell it on the 6th and on the 8th the dividend is declared, then you've held it for a month and you've missed out. So be aware of the dates and be aware of dividend payments and loyalty bonuses and all of those, because they're all related to World Crew or CRU. So just be careful that you don't sell them, or if you are going to sell them just before one of those critical dates, make sure that reflects in your price that you sell them for.
I've got a question from Anne.
Yeah.
So we will always have back office wallet and a blockchain wallet. If so, what funds go into which wallet? Where do we get the funds from to do whatever we want to?
Okay, I actually think that in time we will not have a back office wallet.
Yeah.
I think you said 3 years.
Yeah, I think. That
I heard 3 years as well.
Yeah, they're giving everybody who's dragging their feet a chance to come up to speed, but eventually it will just atrophy and it'll just disappear. It's a technology that they want to move away from, they'll be pushing that hard. It might be 3 years now, but you'll find that I think as things accelerate and move, they'll push that harder and close that out sooner. But and I don't know. I mean, when we move to blockchain, I guess I can't see the point in continuing to hold your hold anything in an internal wallet. Where's the upside to doing that?
Yeah, not insured there, is it?
Sorry?
I said it's probably not insured there. It's insured on the blockchain.
Yeah, I just can't see. I mean, if you're holding it because you want to hold your Crew indefinitely for life, well, if you're going to hold it, you might as well stake it and earn UNTB for it. But to do that, you've got to go onto blockchain. So there's and if on blockchain and you don't stake it and it's unlocking, well, you've got the same facilities, but you can peer-to-peer sell it and do things with. I don't know. I can't see. I can see that the only reason why you would have a back office wallet is because you're just not up to speed with what's going on, and either you're learning. There's a fear of going to blockchain, that there's a mental block that some people will have about that it's all too hard and it's all too difficult, or it's all scary and it's all cyber and I'm going to lose everything. And we've got to work through all of that with people and help them understand that it's not so scary.
Another question.
Yeah.
As far as being VIP in the back office and VIP members being offered the gold EIP or the basalt EIP, that's all going to happen in the back office, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it has to, because they can't offer it on the blockchain.
Yeah.
So it has to be, from back office.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting how the EIPs are going to work and how they're going to be offered, because if that does occur where the back office will be closed in 3 years, I mean, that could change. But, if an EIP is an installment for gold or basalt, it's just going to be interesting to see how that's all going to pan out.
Because you'll still be buying EIPs through the API, through the Academy of Private Investor. And they're going to have different giveaways attached to their EIPs. So we'll still be buying EIPs. We'll never stop selling EIPs. But what comes with them is going to be the thing that changes.
Yeah. And also, when you subscribe to the VIP, it says they're preferential, right? And then it's got finished, and it says the 1st of November. So does that mean people that don't make a decision to be a VIP member before the 1st of the 11th will not get an opportunity in the future to be a VIP? Is there like a cutoff time that we know of?
No, there's two standards of VIP at the moment. There's the one that you actually pay your money for and you're a full VIP. And then there is the VIP that the company are continuing. They've rolled it over now quite a number of months, where they're giving people some limited VIP benefit without them actually paying VIP memberships. And I think it's the principal one is the bonuses on marketing plan sales and things like that. You'll still get your bonus even if you haven't paid your VIP membership. But that's a month-by-month proposition. But there are other things that you actually have to be a fully paid-up VIP member to participate in. So that's the thing that terminates at the 1st of November. But come the 1st of November, they may roll it over again. But there actually right now is 2 VIP statuses. Is that such a word? I don't know. But yeah, no, there's 2 at the moment.
I have 2 questions,
Richard. We've got Richie,
yeah, Richie.
Who's got his hand up.
Yeah, Richie?
Yes, so in terms of the Eventi 2020 8% staking, right? Let's say I decide to stake on that, say next year, February. Will I still be getting the interest on the end of March, even though it's less than 6 months?
No, your interest pays 6 months from when you take out your Eventi staking. It's not March, but Eventi staking will be closed by then.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll wrap up Eventi, the whole Eventi thing. I think when the crypto unit opens, the day before that opens, they'll close the Eventi staking.
Yeah, and the other crew staking will go away once the $3 billion is spoken for.
Yeah.
And then just for clarification, so when we go to the external exchange and we have, somebody new comes in and they want to get the WCRU, is it that they only can buy CRU to get the WCRU, or they can buy USDU or UNTB to get WCRU?
No, they can't. They can't. No one who is not accredited will be able to buy WCRU. You can get them from transferring crew and be given them, but unless you go through a broker or unless you're an accredited investor, unless you have some kind of sophistication in investing, you won't be buying WCRU. That's going to be that area of our token. That's going to be handled by UGPay, and there's options in that where the minimum buy-in might be $50,000. You don't get to look at it unless you've come up with $50,000. They have staking options in doing these things where you might have to agree to, if you want to negotiate a price, your staking might be, your locking period might be 5 years. Now you'll get a cheaper price, but you're going to have to lock for 5 years. So there's all sorts of permutations and negotiations that UGPay, the UGPay company and the people who are selling World Crew, they go through all of that process depending on the size of the order that someone is going to get. But people maybe like, well, certainly myself, I would have to go through a broker, and the company is going to become a broker, but I wouldn't be able to approach UGPay myself to buy WCRU. I would have to buy Crew if I didn't have any, and then convert it, which makes Crew very important, very valuable.
So it'll just be CRU and UNTB that's on the external exchange. You won't ever see WCRU on the external exchange.
Not for the first 365 days. Once it becomes open, once and you get your 1% and all that sort of stuff, then yes, that then will also enter the crypto exchange, but not for the next 12 months. We won't.
So yeah, how come it'll be on the exchange then if only brokers can buy it?
Well, you can't. Once it becomes unlocked, anybody can buy it. Oh. And it's the prime. There's two sales. There's when you have a security token and its primary sale. That's when it's first sold. It can only be sold under the terms of our effective status application.
Oh. Okay.
But you can then, once it becomes unfrozen, there are secondary markets that you can sell the security token into.
Right.
But you've got to go through that 365 days.
Right. Thanks for clearing that up, Richard.
Richard, Leanne's got a hand up.
Yeah, hi. Look, I just want your thoughts on this because it is every individual's choice. But when I lived in India, I had a lot of people who've got the 250 Crew up to probably 3,000, 5,000. What would you recommend for them to do? Especially the 250.
Yeah, look, for me, I am really, really loath to sell Crew or WCRU. I mean, I can see. Okay, let me backtrack because I've already sold a whole heap of them. I bought a whole lot at the end of last year to substitute some Crew that I knew I was going to sell earlier this year. So I had sold some, but I'd replaced it with installment packages that I'd bought. So my net number of Crew ended up around about the same. So your circumstances dictate totally that scenario. And now in some of those countries that people can only afford really small packages, they can sell a very small portion of their Crew and earn some really good money for it. Because unlike, and we talk about India, and I don't know the whole nitty gritty of it, but the Indian currency is linked to the circumstances of India. Yeah. But Crew is linked to the circumstances of our portfolio, which can have a totally different valuation capacity. So, you know, a one crew, and I'm trying to make a point, the one crew sold by someone in India could do a whole lot more for them in time-wise, you know, 3, 4, 5 months than what someone, say, in Australia with one crew. Because the price of crew isn't related to the country's circumstances from where the person is that's going to sell them. So this is where it becomes a really personal choice that, you know, and this is where it's tragic when you see in chat groups where people say, oh, anybody who sells crew is an uneducated, you know, illiterate, financially illiterate. I mean, that's such a terrible judgment call that has no relevance on anything, because someone in some country could sell 5 crew and that could sustain them for 6 months, you know, and you know, so it's not a comment that should be made by anybody.
I wasn't exactly thinking of them selling any crew. I was thinking, now, should they, do you think we could, it'd only be a recommendation, it's always their choice, but stake the crew to receive crew so they have more crew, or stake it as W crew and receive UNTB so that can be sold and they have a little income coming in all the time, and go that way.
Look, I think out of the 2 options, I reckon that's a really good option.
I reckon
to trade it to get those UNTBs, because UNTB is going to go up in price big time. You know, when you look at all of the businesses that are going to need to get onto our blockchain, you look at all that stuff that they're doing with Ugain and digital doubles and data mining and all of these things, when they start generating like millions of people, and Andre's still totally convinced that, you know, billions, you know, 5 billion he's talking about in years, and, you know, that they're going to come to our blockchain and they're going to need UNTB. So if you can keep a source that is generating this UNTB, it's a renewing income. If you can keep that for as long as you can, that would be the way to go, because you could find that after you run 12 months, you've run 15, 18 months, and you might not have any UNTB left, but you've got all your crew.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And of course, I was thinking that if they staked it for crew and received crew, and then you need 2 crew for 1 W crew in times to come, that they've missed out on all that UNTB that they could have had to live on.
Yeah,
you know?
look, I mean, I think the thing that you said right at the start, that it's a personal choice. But I mean, I know I don't think you get to the stage where, I mean, I've got a lot of crew, and I'm going to stake it to W crew, and I got a lot of them. So for me, I'm what you would probably classify as I'm asset rich but cash poor. So I'm looking for liquidity.
Yes,
that's what will make my life more enjoyable, is having more coin in my pocket, sort of thing. And so for me, I will be looking at options that generate UNTB. So that'll be, you know, doing some transferring locked ones to World Crew and keeping unlocked ones staked for UNTB. So just in case I want to cancel some, I want to unstake some because something's come up and I want to take advantage of it, I've got a lot of unlocked UNTB, I'll get this right, I've got a lot of unlocked crew that I can sell because some opportunity, like I was talking to my kids about their crew, that you're saying that if you sell your crew, sell it for something that is as permanent as what crew would have been. Because if you sell your crew for a colour TV, that's just not a real good, that's just not smart. But if you're selling your crew to go and pay your house off, which is a permanent thing, it's as permanent as what crew is, that's probably not a bad idea. You know, to be...
Think assets, guys, like total assets.
Sorry?
Yeah, assets, think assets or income.
You know, but so they're the sort of things that people need to talk about. So that's what, so I need cash, so I will be staking accordingly. I actually don't need to be expanding more crew and at the expense of generating cash.
I'm in the same boat as Richard too. I want to sort of get some liquid sort of.
So, Richard, does that mean that, like, for that to be available, you'll probably be keeping a fair bit of your unblocked CRU, just staking that for UNTB, and then just unstaking it as you feel to just cash in on your CRU?
Yeah, I'm going to, that's what I'll be doing. I'll pretty much half of my lock I'll just transfer it straight over to World Crew, because I don't need it. And it's not trying to sound like I'm a big head, because I'm not. I'm going to get rid of the bit that I've already sat down and worked out how much I don't think I'm going to need for the next few years. That's going to go straight to World Crew, and they'll stake for UNTB. The plans that I've got as to what I want to do over the next couple of years, I've worked out the big ticket item that I want. Crew needs to get to a price of $40. Now I've got a chart that I've mapped out when I think that's going to happen. So I'm going to be staking UNTB. I'm going to be staking crew.
Yeah.
I've worked out at $40 how many crew I need to have when it reaches $40 to do what I want to do. So I'm definitely going to have that, and I'm just going to be staking that and rolling that over in a 6-month or a 12-month staking package for as long as I can. And then when it runs out, hopefully I'll have achieved the little goal that I've got set before it runs out.
Nice. Thanks for sharing that, Richard.
Richard, when do you foresee...
Yes, sir?
Sorry.
When do you foresee it being $40? Do you want to share that with us?
Hang on, I'll have to go talk to people, Michelle, for a minute.
We've got Anthony, who's got his hand up. Like, I think he wants to ask a question.
Hi guys.
I don't think you should be predicting, Richard.
Hi, Anthony here from London, United Kingdom. Hi everyone.
Hi,
I'm just looking at my screen right now. I'm logged in. I might have missed it earlier. So I've got a couple stakings that I've been on since May. Am I right in assuming that that will be automatically closed by the company when we go live on the external exchange? And I now need to restake it again in accordance with the new rules on the external exchange. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Great. That's easy.
And let the company cancel it. Don't you cancel it.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Because if you cancel it, you invoke the personal cancellation clause. If they cancel it, that invokes the corporate cancellation clause in your smart contract. So,
cool.
So let them cancel it.
Lovely. And one more point to raise. Sorry. In my portfolio, obviously there's a number of crew in there. Would that just get transferred? Would that now become unblocked, and I can now transfer that to World Crew?
Not necessarily. If it's blocked in, sorry, just to ask that question again. Sorry, I just.
So I'm looking at my screen now, and I've got a number of in my portfolio. and I've got a number of crew in there. Okay.
Yeah.
My question is, does that now get transferred into W crew?
No, you have to do that yourself.
Right.
The company won't accept the responsibility of making that automatic decision for anybody. We all have to select that option of how many and to what we're going to transfer it to. We all have to do that ourselves.
Get it. Okay. And I can
decide
how
Can I recommend that you watch Maria's webinar that she held yesterday? Or
am I audible now?
Depending on time zone. It would really help you understand that, like what we have to do, because she actually goes through the process on the whole going to the transferring our funds to the wallet, and it shows us how to log in. So it would really help you if you watch that webinar.
Oh, and that's also important too. She makes a point that getting onto blockchain uses one set of logins, but to get into your exchange uses another set of logins. So you need to be aware that you've got to log in twice to, when you're doing all this, and the PIN that you generate for an exchange session is only valid for that one session. You've got to be generating one each time, each session you go into. That was something that I thought was very interesting, that I hadn't actually realised that. So just be aware of that too.
How do they send that pen to us? Is that going to be through our cell phones?
I actually don't know. No, and Maria said that you generate it yourself.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll rewatch it. Yeah.
Yes, no, she said that you generate that yourself.
Okay. Thanks.
I have a question.
Yep. Who said they had a question? Oh.
Well, if I can ask another one whilst you look at your spreadsheet, excuse me. When you said that the UNT is going to be going up because the need of it, is at some point it's going to outprice itself? I mean, is it going to be too expensive for the business owners to be acquiring the UNTBs to bring in customers?
Yeah, no, the market will change that, because if you've got it in at say $10 and it's the current price is $2, well, you're never going to sell yours. So the natural law of supply and demand will mean that it will never outprice itself. And the trick with all of these things is to just not be greedy. Just sort of work out what you need to get your lick out of it and get your piece of the pie. But like when the exchange, when UNTB first opens, and I'm not saying that I know everything there is to know about all this stuff, but I won't sell my UNTB for under $1. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is as soon as the book opens, I'm going to whack, as soon as I've got, accumulated some, I'm going to put it in the book for $1. The reason why and even if it's trading at 17 cents, I'm going to put it in for $1, because the book works on chronological entries. So if you're the first person to put it in at a certain price, then you're the first person that's going to get theirs sold at that price. Mm-hmm. So if you've got some and you're going to sell it at you're going to sell it in 12 months, that's what your plan is. Well, you can put it in the book for a figure that you think it'll be in 12 months. And that puts you chronologically as the first person in the book. So just sort of be aware that when you're doing your planning, that the first person in the book is the person who's going to get theirs sold first. And with that, another little thing to be aware of, and this is now I'm just going to shoot down what I've just said to the person, anybody listening to it. Don't stake in round numbers, because non-thinking people put prices of 25 cents, 26 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents. Stake in decimal points. To stake at 49.99 cents is a fraction under 50 cents, but because it is less than 50 cents, your UNTB, your crew will be sold first, because it's cheaper than someone who's just thinks in round numbers. So when you're staking and putting your numbers in, think decimal points, because those decimal points aren't going to make a difference to you when you get your money. It's going to be, tiny. But because you have put in something that's cheaper, you get, so you could have someone, you could have 5,000 people that have put something in at 50 cents. And if you come in at 49.9999, you leapfrog them all. So it's just something to think decimal points, not round numbers.
You're amazing, Richard. Thanks, mate.
Is this one of Richard's secrets?
No, it's a standard. It's a trading thing. All traders do it, but it's just something that a lot of people who aren't traders don't do it.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing those little pointers, Richard, because I don't know about everybody on here, but I'm pretty new to the trading game, if you will.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Can I ask Jonathan, where's he putting all this food? That's the third meal I've seen him eating.
I love it. If you're drinking alcohol, let's go cheers, everybody.
Yeah, for beer, actually.
Oh, there you go, guys. She's got a champers on the go. They're good on you.
Oh, I love it, Gay. Yeah, cheers.
So how'd you go with finding a spreadsheet, Richard?
I'll post it. I'll post mine, and believe me, it's absolutely unofficial. It's just a series of things that I've been put together over a long time. But I don't mind. I'll post it. But yeah.
I was just interested in your expectation of date. That's all.
Yeah. No, I've staked it out till 2024, I think. But I'll.
How did you work it out?
Oh, there's a whole lot of, you look at what the company, what's going to open up. When I estimate the gold mine in the Urals is going to start opening, and basalt in India. You look at all the things the company tells us, and you map it out in a chronological timeline, and then you put in cost of the value of gold, the value of this, the value of all these, and then you create a formula. It's just it's what you do when you haven't got a life. You do that sort of stuff.
Thanks,
what is it? What was it? I was woke up in the middle of the night one night, and I worked out what happened if the person who defined colour was actually colourblind. And then I thought, I thought to myself, I really do need a life. I really should get out.
That's sad.
So anyway.
Have we got any more questions? I'm just going to start to wrap this up.
Yes, I've got one question.
Gone a bit over time.
Yep.
One question, please.
Yep.
It's John UK. Just on the UNTB, if I can ask. Hi, both of you. On the UNTB, just to be clear, it's only available via staking on the block crew as well as peer-to-peer. Am I right in saying you can't buy it from any exchange? Maybe in the future, but as we're talking in November, will it be available anywhere else apart from P2P or staking your blocked?
No, it won't be. It can. Look, if somebody got a whole heap of it and wanted to take it to another exchange who would accept it, fine, they can go do it. But in November, you'll probably find that you can buy it on our exchange if there are people who are willing to sell it. and you can do it peer-to-peer, and you can earn it from staking. Once our UNTB price starts to, and this would be more when it hits CoinMarketCap, where other exchanges will be keen to take it on because it attracts people to their exchange, then you'll find it appearing in sort of exchanges all over the place.
Okay. One other question, sorry. With regard to the exchange, just to be clear, is it our own exchange regulated by the SEC, or is it a public exchange that we're going on to, if we can tell that?
Okay. No, the crypto exchange isn't regulated by SEC. The primary exchange that UGPay will be working through, that is. So World Crew is controlled by the requirements of SEC. Crew, UNTB, Bitcoin, all the other things that are going to happen on our crypto exchange aren't controlled by SEC.
Okay, thank you. And one last comment on the 8% deal. It's obviously on a 3-year arrangement. You made a comment today that the 8% could change with regard to the World Crew, 1-to-1 going down to 2-to-1 in the future. How will that affect, 2 years down the line, when we're paid the 4% crew, when there's a difference between the crew value and the World Crew value? Is that something that we need to be putting in the equation, ?
Yeah, absolutely. The company are paying on crew and then working with the investment portfolio to build that up to get the price of World Crew and by default crew a higher and higher price. Now we're going to see when the auditors, this has been, we're going to get some very interesting news. Well, no, they said it in a non-closed meeting that the company valuation, the investment valuation is going to be put at something like $10 billion. Now, we're just going to be getting the audit, we get the auditor's report to substantiate that. That's going to have a really, really powerful effect on the price of World Crew and also by default crew. And so the company are working very hard at getting both of those sort of up and running and moving, because if those two are moving up, then UNTB is moving up. But you're always going to be watching, and you're going to need to watch with these Aventi staking things, that 4% thing, and this is where those that have already staked for it will get ahead of the curve. When a whole heap of those 4% hit the market, that will drop the price of crew if people are going to be trying to sell it, because they will sell it cheaper to actually move it. So when you'll notice there will be a drop in the price of crew each time those 4%. Now that drop might be on a rising scale, but each time that it releases, you'll notice it'll dip because there will be such a huge volume of crew hitting the market, and if people want to make some money, they're going to have to be prepared to drop the price to get their money. So that'll be a good time for people who have got the money and got the cash to buy relatively a cheaper crew and then convert it to a World Crew for those that have to sell it because of their needs. But you might find that when that time comes, when you get your crew, that you'll just one-for-one swap it with World Crew and just then stake for UNTB. When that all starts to happen, everybody is going to have to be watching the market to see what's going on, because you just can't sit back and just let it happen, because it could cost you money.
understand. Thanks for your answers there, Richard. Appreciate that.
No worries.
It is.
Anybody else? Or
Okay,
we'll wrap
guys,
this
how are we
thing up?
going?
Okay.
Okay, going 1, 2,
All right.
3.
Hey, listen, it was great tonight. Really appreciate
Yeah,
the
it was
comments, really the questions and the time and the few laughs that we have, and it's all a bit crazy.
Thanks, Tony.
So,
Thanks so much.
okay.
Thank you.
See you later, everybody.
Thank you, Richard. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll get the recording up
Thank you,
ASAP.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Are we
Goodbye.
looking at the spreadsheet?